Alright, time to unbox our last expansion here for the Lord of the Rings the card game. This is, of course, the starter pack Defenders of Gondor. So we're going to check out what cards come in this pack so you know whether or not you want to pick this up for yourself. I did do all of the other expansions, so you can check these out as well. Lord of the Rings is one of my all-time favorite games, and we're going to be playing it a lot more now that I've got the starter packs, and I'm just trying to figure out how I want to go through the process of going through it. We'll be doing a lot more Lord of the Rings on the channel, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And we'll see you guys here to show you off what's in the package. Alright, well, first things first, we're going to take this off, and just keep in mind that when you open it up, there's actually your important sheet is in there, so don't just toss this out and not see that you have an actual sheet inside of there. We'll get to that here in a little bit, but in the meantime, we can put that aside and open up the packages. Alright, we'll look at our heroes first. We'll look at these guys afterwards. Alright, heroes first is Boromir, Gondor warrior noble. While Boromir has at least one resource in his resource pool, Gondor allies gain +1 fight. Then we have Prince Emerald, Gondor noble. After a character leaves play, ready Prince Emerald. And Mablung is a Gondor ranger. After you engage an enemy, add 1 resource to Mablung's resource pool. That's just kind of interesting. Alright. Then allies, 2 copies of Agabor the Fearless, Gondor warrior. While your threat is 40 or higher, Agabor the Fearless gains +2 fight and does not exhaust and quest. So we have purple and red in this game, or in this set. Soldiers of Gondor is a Gondor response after Soldier Gondor enters play. Search the top 5 cards of your deck for a Gondor ally and add it to your hand any number of Gondor allies instead if your threat is 40 or higher, and then shuffle your deck. 3 copies of that card. We have 2 copies of Citadel Custodian. Gondor, lower the cost to play Citadel Custodian by 1 for each Gondor ally in play. We have Defender of Romas, 3 copies. Gondor warrior, that's it, no special ability. We have 2 copies of Peligir Ship Captain. Peligir Ship Captain. Gondor, after Peligir Ship Captain enters play, move 1 resource from the resource pool of a hero you control to another resource pool. Errant Rider, Gondor, exhaust Errant Rider to move 1 resource from the resource pool of a hero you control to another resource pool. Faramir, Gondor Noble Ranger, exhaust Faramir to choose a player. Each character controlled by that player gains +1 will until the end of the phase. 2 copies of Gandalf Isidar. At the end of the round, discard Gandalf from play. Response, after Gandalf enters play, choose, draw 3 cards, deal 4 damage to an enemy, or reduce your threat by 5. We have the Gondorian Spearman, Gondor Warrior Sentinel. After a Gondorian Spearman is declared as the defender, deal 1 damage to the attacking enemy. We have Envoy of Peligir, 3 copies. It's a Gondor response. After Envoy of Peligir enters play, add a resource to a Gondor or Noble Hero's resource pool. We have 3 copies of Squire of the Citadel. Gondor, after Squire of the Citadel leaves play, add a resource to a Gondor hero's resource pool. Captain of Gondor, title, attached to a warrior hero. Response, after you optionally engage an enemy, exhaust Captain of Gondor to give attached hero +1 fight and +1 defense until the end of the round. Armor, item, 2 copies. Gondorian shield. Attached to a hero restricted, limit once per hero. Attached hero gains +1 defense, +2 instead if attached hero has the Gondor trait. Which, since most of these characters will be a part of that group, I would think they would be able to do that. Alright, we have 1 copy of Heir of Madril. It's a title attached to a noble hero. Response, after attached hero gains any number of resources from a card effect, exhaust Heir of Mardor to ready attached hero. We have the Steward of Gondor, Gondor title attached to hero. Attached hero gains the Gondor trait. Action, exhaust Steward of Gondor to add 2 resources to the attached hero's resource pool. One of the strongest and best cards in the whole game. We have the Valen's Sword, 3 copies, item weapon. Attached to a noble hero, limit 1 per hero, restricted. Attached hero gets +1 fight, +2 instead if your threat is 40 or higher. We have the Visionary Leadership 3 skill. Attached to a Gondor hero, while attached hero has at least 1 resource in his resource pool, Gondor characters gain +1 will. And then we have second part, which is going to be 2 copies of Behind Strong Walls. Action, ready a defending Gondor character. That character gets +1 defense until the end of the phase. We have Fence, 2 copies. Choose an enemy engaged with the player. That enemy cannot attack this player this turn. We have 2 copies of Need drives them. Action, each player whose threat is 40 or higher readies all characters they control. We have the Pillars of the King, 2 copies. While your threat is at least 40, reduce the cost to pay Pillars of the King by 4. Action, set your threat to 40. If this effect raises your threat, draw a card. Draw 4 cards more instead if you raised your threat by 10 or more. 2 copies of Valiant Sacrifice. After an ally card leaves play, that card's controller draws 2 cards. We have the Foe Hammer. Response, after a hero you control attacks and destroys an enemy, exhaust a weapon card attached to that hero to draw 3 cards. And that is the full 50 card deck that goes with these 3 heroes. So, again, there's more cards that we will look at. Baragon, Gondor Warrior, Sentinel, lower the cost to play weapon and armor attachments on Baragon by 2. That is a hero. That's an option you can have. Hero, Faramir, Gondor Noble Ranger. Ranged, Faramir gets +1 attack for each enemy in the staging area. And then we have 3 copies of Arnin Ranger, Gondor Ranger. After Armin Ranger commits to a quest, choose an enemy with a trap attachment. Until the end of the phase, Armin Rangers gets +X will, where X is the chosen enemy's printed threat. Ranger Spikes, 3 copies. Play Ranger Spikes into the staging area unattached. If unattached, attach Ranger Spikes to the next eligible enemy that enters the staging area. Players do not make engagement checks against attached enemies. Attached enemies get -2 threat. We have Illidan Pit Trap. Play Illidan's Pit into the staging area unattached. If it's unattached, attach Illidan Pit to the next eligible enemy that enters the staging area. Any character may choose attached enemy as the target of their attack. We have 3 copies of Coney in a Trap. Play only if you control a unique character with the Ranger trait and another unique character with the Warrior trait. Response: after you engage an enemy, that enemy cannot attack you until the end of the round. Helm of Secrecy. We'll limit 1 per deck. Choose a hero you control and discard all tokens from it. Select a different non-ring bearer, non-smoke hero from your collection with a threat cost less than or equal to the chosen hero. Swap those hero, moving all eligible attachments to the hero in your new collection, from your collection. That's interesting. Then we have the Path of Need. Limit 1 per deck attached to a location. Heroes do not exhaust to attack, defend, or commit to a quest while attached location is in the active location. We have 1 copy of Agabor the Fearless, Gondor Warrior. When your threat is 40 or higher, Agabor the Fearless gains +2 attack and does not exhaust a quest. We looked at this one and this one. So we got 2 more copies of the Captain of Gondor, another copy of Errant Rider, another copy of the Gondorian Shield. There might be the 2 copies of Heir of Mindril, another copy of another Behind Strong Will, Need Drives Them, Pillar of the Kings, and Forehammer. These were all extra copies of cards that were in the original deck. So there you go. Another group of extra characters, extra items, things to add to your decks to fine-tune it. Just going to look at the... Oh, okay, he was... This is for the last one I did. There was also a hero that I didn't pull out, so I want to pull out all the heroes just to make sure I don't miss it. That was for the dwarf deck. Alright. There we go. Alright. Now that I realize that I missed that, I'm going back and making sure I didn't miss it with the other ones. And I already saw the next one. I did miss it, so this original deck, there was another hero that I missed. That is Festrid. That'd be the Gondor and Rohan deck, I bet. Okay, so that is that. So you get all these extra cards. Let's see, on this one here, right? Yes, so there's the... If you get all 4 of the extra starting kits, you're going to get a whole bunch of extra cards that you can fine-tune your decks with, which is nice. Quite a nice little collection there, of course. And then, of course, there is your starting deck and your extra heroes. Probably Those three. Those three were the original three, right? Yes, okay. Had it confused there for a second. If you're not sure, you can always look at the back. It shows you the three heroes and all your starting deck. Let's read about our deck, shall we? Playing the Gondorian starter deck, the Kingdom of Gondor has been beset by enemies for centuries. As the defenders of the free people, eastern flank, the Gondorians have thrived with their backs up against the wall. One of the major driving forces of this deck is a group of cards that work optimally when the threat is 40 or higher, such as Arbor the Fearless and Soldier of Gondor. You might want to let your threat increase a bit faster than normal to activate these powerful abilities. However, take care when doing so that you don't let your threat get too high. You'll be walking a fine line between activating new card abilities and losing the game. A few threat reduction effects like Pillar of the Kings and Gandalf are available in the deck to assist in managing this aspect of the game. Another intriguing feature of this deck is the ability that you unlock by attaching the Visionary and Leadership card to Boromir. Both of these cards will work best when you have extra resources in Boromir's resource pool. This means that you'll have to pay extra attention to your spending and sometimes hold back on playing a card to preserve the extra tokens in your resource pool. There are a number of other cards in the deck such as Steward of Gondor and the Squire of the Citadel that can be used to manage your resources and ensure that these abilities are active at critical times. Then a little artwork and the credits and the outcome. So there you go. That is all 4 of the decks. I'm actually going to take all of the extra heroes, I think, and put them aside. For now. See, some of these I've not sleeved yet. But there you go. That is all of the extra cards, all of the extra. So you can kind of mix and match now. If there's something in one deck that you want to put into it from one of the other decks. It's interesting enough. These cards are made by a different manufacturer. You can tell they're different. Anyways, yeah. So that is the 4 starter decks for the Lord of the Rings, the card game. Obviously, this is the last one. Defenders of Gondor. We also had the Dwarves of Durin, the Elves of Lorien, and the Riders of Rohan. So be sure to check out all of those other expansions if you're looking to find out which starter deck might be for you. We've gone through them all. Now it's up to you to decide which one you want to get. So thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you guys soon. Until then, my friends, take care of yourselves. Have a good night. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.